10 years ago, the then Minister Fredrik Reinfeldt asked Swedes to open your hearts to refugees. Now, the country's migration minister is celebrating the fact Sweden has negative net migration, with more people thought to be leaving the country than entering for the first time in more than half a century. The number of asylum applications is heading towards a historic low level. Asylum-related residence permits continue to decrease, and for the first time in 50 years, Sweden has net immigration. Maria Malmer Steingart announced earlier this month. Sweden's moderate-led government, which is supported by the far-right Sweden Democrats, has pursued increasingly restrictive asylum policies, including plans for a snitch law that would legally require public sector workers to report undocumented people. So if you are a migrant from any country, you are hoping to go to Sweden to go and seek asylum, or you know someone that is planning to go to Sweden to go and seek asylum, better advise them that this is not the right time under this current far-right democratic, which even though they are not really democratic, led government in Sweden. So better advise that person. Why the workings behind the government's conclusion has attracted speculation, including from the government agencies, whose figures Stingart's statement was based on the UN High Commission for Refugees confirmed the trend. It was surprising the UNHCR said that while global displacement was at an all-time high, the number of people seeking asylum in Sweden was not an all-time low. The statistics show Sweden having a net outflow of immigrants for the first time in decades. Annika Sandblom, the UNHCR representative to the Nordic and Baltic countries, told The Guardian. Stingart claimed net immigration was evidence that the government's work yet results, and that the approach was necessary for us to be able to strengthen immigration, integration, and reduce exclusion. So this is what the far right in Sweden is doing. They are thinking that by reducing the asylum seekers that are applying for asylum, they will be able to integrate the people properly and avoid exclusion. Yes, but you can see what the United Nations is saying, that at this point in time that the number of people being displaced is higher than ever. It is funny that the number of people seeking asylum in Sweden is reducing. That is what you see when far-right people are in power. Yes, because I don't really blame the far-right, even though some of them are ignorant. I will tell you why. Because these are the loopholes that the centrists and the leftists led for years in Europe. That is exactly what the far-right is exploiting. They failed to increase salaries every year. They failed to address the high cost of living that is skyrocketing every year. And now, some of the vulnerable people, third generation youths, the far right will now tell them that migrants are their problem, and some of them, without making use of internet that is available to them to educate themselves, make inquiry, will easily buy to it and start standing up against immigrants. Truth be told, every country needs a certain percent of immigrants. People have been migrating starting from the origination of man. Yes, there's no country that can do without immigrants. The only thing you say is that every country needs a certain number of immigrants. That is just the truth. But time will tell how Sweden is going to address this whole issue and in the future going.